into Out of Bounds. As always, with John Luck, I'm Brian Berard. We are just a few days away from the big game, the third consecutive Super Bowl that the New England Patriots are in. John, this year they're taking on the Los Angeles Rams. Let's start on the offensive side of the ball. What do the Patriots have to do on the offensive side to win this game?
For the Patriots, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how they use the run game. They have that jet sweep package where they usually have Cordero Patterson come around the back and take the snap. I wouldn't be surprised to see them use that play a lot, especially with the threat of Aaron Donald and Ndamukong Suh. And then you want to try and throw the secondary off a little bit as well. So I think we're going to see a lot of James White, a lot of Sony Michel, and a lot of Cordero Patterson early on in the first half.
Well, there's been a lot of talk, in my mind, there's been a lot of talk of, Gronkowski going to retire. This might be his last game. I don't think it is, but I think this is going to be a game that Rob Gronkowski shines. I think a lot of times tight ends against that Rams defense has been a great matchup for the opposing team, and I think this is going to be really a game that Rob Gronkowski is going to shine, but they have to get that running game going. That offensive line's done an amazing job the last few games of the year and, of course, in the playoffs against the Chargers and the Chiefs. If you can get that running game going with Sony Michel, James White, Rex Burkhead. Don't be surprised if you sprinkle in some James Devlin there in the offensive pass attack there for the Patriots, but I think this is going to be a huge game for Rob Gronkowski, John.
It's going to be pretty interesting, I think, to see how the Patriots handle the first couple drives of the game. We talked about this on the Bridgewater Now update, because the first two drives in the playoffs, the first drive against Los Angeles Chargers, the first drive against Kansas City, it was all about ball control. You want to keep the high-powered offense of the LA Chargers, the Kansas City Chiefs, off the field. Do they feel the same way about the LA Rams? Do the Patriots think they have to put a score on the board very quickly? That's going to be very, very interesting, because if you talk about getting a score on the board quickly, then you open up more of the passing game. If it's more of a grinded-out style, then I think then you can talk about the running game with James Devlin included.
Well, the interesting thing, too, about the Patriots, other than the Super Bowl last year, the Patriots didn't score a point in the first quarter in any other Super Bowl. And you mentioned the first drive against the Chiefs, the first drive against the Chargers. Those were drives they went right down the field, took a lot of time off the clock, and they put a touchdown up. I have a feeling the Patriots are going to do the same exact thing this game. That's a high-powered LA Rams offense. Now, we don't really know what to expect from Todd Gurley. Is it an injury? Is it he can't handle the big situation? I don't know.
Right.
But I think the Patriots are going to do the same exact thing if they get the ball first, or even if they don't. I think it's going to be one of those drives where they take a lot of time off the clock and put the touchdown on the board. And if they win the coin toss, I think this is what Belichick's been doing for the past several years, is deferring his option. So I would imagine he put his defense out on the field. But I feel like they know that this is going to be a game that you have to put up a lot of points, and I think they're really going to put a precedence on that. I think in that first drive, when they get the ball, take a lot of time off the clock, and I think they're going to put points on the board.
I think this is very interesting because, I think unlike the last few Super Bowls for the Patriots, this is a Super Bowl where I think you can talk about a record-breaking point total here. I think the record's 75 or 77, something like that, but I think looking at the two offenses, I think we could be talking about a game that goes maybe into the 40s, like that LA Rams-Kansas City Monday night game.
Yeah, and I also wouldn't be surprised if there was very little points because of mistakes in the defensive side, but let's switch over to the defensive side. What do both teams have to do to win this game defensively? Obviously, I know you got to, not give them as many points.
You got to stop the offense.
Obviously, I know the ultimate goal is to score more than them, but how do they do that?
It's going to be very interesting to see how the Patriots set up in the secondary. That's going to be one of the things that I would look at, right when the game starts off. Where do you put Stephon Gilmore? Where do you put Jackson? Because he certainly is getting burned trying to cover Travis Kelce in the Kansas City game. The LA Rams have a couple of very viable receivers. You have Brandon Cooks, very familiar name for Patriots fans, and Robert Woods. I think maybe the one saving grace for the Patriots defense is the fact that you don't have Cooper Kupp out there. Kupp is the third cog in this receiving game for the LA Rams. If he was out there, then the Patriots would be toast. But I think the Patriots on defense can certainly play a little more close to home, a little more honest on defense. They don't have to change up the schemes too much, I don't think. And C.J. Anderson is one focal point from a defensive standpoint that I'd be a little concerned about from a Patriots fan.
Yeah, he's going to be a sneaky big factor in this game. For me, I just think Jared Goff in the first half of that NFC Championship game just was not ready. He's his third year in the league. You have Sean McVay, who's 32, 33 years old. I'm not sure if they're ready for this moment. I mean, even we say that last year, but Nick Foles had been in the league for a long time. Doug Peterson had been in the league for a long time. And I think that was a Patriots team that kind of waltzed into Minnesota and said, yeah, we got this. We can win this game easily. But I don't know if they're going to be quite ready for this moment. And I think if the Patriots can get some pressure on Jared Goff in the early going just to kind of razzle him a little bit, I think that's going to be huge for the Patriots, but this offense is going to figure out its own. I mean, Todd Gurley, is the situation too big for him? A lot of people said that he really wasn't injured in the NFC Championship game. I just don't know if it was maybe a mental thing where he was afraid to play, or if, like you said, the lights got a little too bright. Of course, playing down in New Orleans, that's a loud place that you get to play in.
I was going to say, that's going to be an X factor for both teams. New England played in, quote-unquote, the loudest place in sports. LA played in New Orleans. On the Super Bowl stage, you're not going to have to deal with the crowd noise as much. They deem it as 50-50, but it's probably going to be a 65-35 split for the Patriots. But overall, crowd noise isn't going to be as big of an issue, I don't think. It's going to be more about the nerves. And for Jared Goff playing in New Orleans, that certainly took a lot of nerves to go ahead and win in overtime. So I think maybe the nerves are off his shoulder. And Rams, Patriots in the Super Bowl, against the Rams Patriots in the Super Bowl, there we go, could be a full circle because you're talking about an inexperienced quarterback, inexperienced coach, kind of like Brady and Belichick.
Yeah, that was the mantra in Super Bowl 36, but looks like it didn't work out that well for the St. Louis Rams. But for me, I think it's huge if the Patriots get pressure on Jared Goff. I think that if you can get pressure on him, you get him rattled, I think that's going to pay dividends for you. And every Patriots Super Bowl win, it hasn't been a blowout. I'm not saying this is going to be a blowout, but I think that's one thing that I think that this team wants in a Super Bowl is a convincing blowout victory in the Super. I'm not sure it's going to happen. I'm not ruling it out. I'm not ruling out that it's going to be a close game. I really don't know, but I have a feeling that on paper the Rams are the better team, but I still think that the Patriots are going to come out and win. But John, what's a final score prediction for this game?
Well, I had the Patriots winning. I think we're going to have to deal with another heart attack style here. I could easily see this being a 30-24 situation, dare I say even going to overtime where one team scores a field goal and you get a walk-off touchdown by the Patriots.
I think the Patriots are going to win. I'm going to go with a 35-24 score. The reason why I'm doing that, I don't think Belichick trusts Gostkowski. I think if the field goal is under 30 yards, maybe he'll try for it, but I think if it's over 30 and it's a fourth and manageable, would not be surprised to see Bill Belichick try to go for it in those situations. But so you have our Super Bowl predictions. Of course, we'll have our some more recap on Bridgewater Now tomorrow, of course, with John Luck. Of course, you can also watch plenty of BTV programming on YouTube, as you see on the bottom of your screen. Just go to youtube.com and search BTV Access Corporation. So for John Luck, I'm Brian Berard. Thanks for watching.